Alright, it's time for the first tour of our 2011 garden. We moved to a new house, so we no longer have our raised bed garden that we worked so hard to build a couple years ago. But so it is, starting over, but we have a lot more room now. So we laid this out in plots, but in the ground rather than in raised beds, and they are 4 by 24 feet, and there's 6 of them. And we've got quite a few things growing well and some dead things. So it goes. My heart is breaking. I have a lot of dead pepper plants out here. But we'll focus on the positive first. We've got some broccoli growing, some basil, and the rest of that row has different varieties of radishes. We have these beds separated out using just some garden twine because I'm used to the square foot gardening method. As you may have seen in my gardens before, it just helps me visually to know where to expect plants to be growing, so I know which things are weeds and I know how far to space things. So the second row here is bell peppers, but many of them died. I don't know what happened. Maybe someone can tell me. Were they too little? Can you plant them out here this early? It was really hot the day after I planted them, and they also had some wax covers on them, so I don't know if it just got too hot and they fried, but like within a day some of them looked like this. Those are matchsticks, by the way, next to the stems. Those are supposed to prevent cutworms from chomping off your plants, and it's worked for us last year. It's a lot easier than putting cutworm collars around them, if you know what I'm talking about. If not, don't worry about it. The row behind there, we've got tomatoes growing. Tomatoes and cherry tomatoes down that row. And in the row in front here, different varieties of lettuces. My neighbor's trying to flag me down and talk to me. In this bed we've got herbs growing. Some have come up and some other seeds that I planted. I don't even remember. Potatoes peeking up here in this trench all the way down. The row behind them, more dead peppers. So sad. I think we had like 32 pepper plants out here. And I had a bunch of extra ones we started inside too, but I already gave them away to my neighbor. Next row, this trellis here is going to be cucumbers. We just planted them last night. Nothing to see there yet. Here's some kale that we started inside earlier in the winter. And there'll be Swiss chard next to it here. One little plant is growing so far. And the rest of this row is empty for now. In the next bed we've got parsley. I'm not sure that's doing so hot. And then following down the rest of the row is green, yellow, and red onions. The row behind here is peas, which for some reason haven't come up yet. I don't know what the deal is. And then we just planted green beans for this trellis last night. We will put a trellis up for the peas too, if they ever sprout. The green beans we planted are down here under this white row cover material, which is to keep the birds from eating our seeds out of the ground. A lot easier than putting up a chicken wire cage, which we did in the past. So since we had this fabric this year, we thought we would give that a try to keep the birds out. And we just set some conduit pipe that we had laying around on top of it to keep the wind from blowing it away. Behind the trellis here, this row is carrots. See if I can find a good one. See? There's a teeny little carrot plant coming up. The rest of this row till the very end. Then we've got cabbage down there. This bed is empty. I have it covered with row cover cloth for now, just to keep bugs from laying their goods in there. This row will be zucchini and squash. I haven't gotten them out here planted yet. And at the very end I have some candy onions that my neighbor kindly gave me a set of. She likes to use them in salsa, I guess. I've never grown onions, so what the heck. Over here are some melon transplants. Apparently melons don't enjoy being transplanted, so we'll see what happens, but under more row fabric there I'll be planting seeds for watermelon and cantaloupe. And the last 6 feet or so of this bed is going to be corn. I've got some planted under there, but again I left the row cover on to keep the birds out. So back there, some strawberries that a friend gave me. Super excited about that. I think that's about it. Hopefully in a few weeks we'll have a lot more green out here.